Sakhal is difficult, and a lot of people tell you need to build a fire every few minutes just to survive, but here I'll show you how to survive without making a single fire or torch in what I like to call the no fire challenge, so you can become a survivor and start your own hashtag. If you like the video, please leave a like or a subscribe, it really helps me out. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Don't mind if I do. I prefer the zucchini, if you know what I mean. Before we begin, let me know your strategy in the comments. I say this a lot, but I genuinely do read every comment, even the major looks. So let's begin. When your temperature plummets in Sakhal, you're dealing with two major threats: illness and slow, steady health decline. And the health drain puts you on a ticking clock, so your mission is simple: stay healthy and stay warm. Let's break this down, starting with how to manage your wellness. So this probably won't happen immediately, so we'll cover alternatives as well, but in an ideal world, you should always aim to find and use vitamins. These can be found in medical centers or even civilian houses and aren't too rare on Sakhal. Each pill gives you around about 5 minutes of boosted immunity, which is crucial because getting sick in this environment can leave you deader than a CEO. But if you can't find them right away, which is extremely likely, you should fill up with as much food and water as you can, but this is where you meet your first hurdle. Obviously, food can defrost on your body with heat, but that takes time and your health will be slowly falling, so time is not on your side. But killing infected can give you warm food, or at least edible food, and defrosting vegetables doesn't take that long, so it's always worth doing. But you need to be doing other stuff as well. This is just some tertiary stuff you need to focus on. Your main goal should be something else, because since you can't cook or defrost food with fire, strategy here is key. Your goal is to eat enough food fast enough to push your food and water levels above the immunity threshold. For illnesses like colds or flu, this means keeping your combined levels above 60%, cumulatively, not individually. And the fastest way to do this is by fishing. Fishing supplies are abundant. You'll find rods and hooks near the coast, in sheds, or even on the infected. You can craft them yourself, combine 12 rags to make a rope, use a stick and a knife to craft a wooden hook, and just grab any long stick from a bush. Fishing is straightforward, but be cautious. Eating raw fish can now give you food poisoning instead of salmonella. Thankfully, this isn't as bad as salmonella, and it has a much lower immunity threshold, meaning you can overcome it by eating enough. So the more of it you eat, the safer you become. But a good tip here, and to be safe, I recommend drinking at a spring and filling up as much as you can. This helps a lot because you can get past the threshold for food poisoning to affect you before you even get it. Do whatever it takes to build these levels. I even used a saline bag to help build hydration on my run, and that video is available to all members in full. So use everything, and if you do get a cold in its early stages, getting warm, specifically a buff, can help you get rid of it without any medication, but of course medication is preferable. And spawning near the east coast will put you right next to a medical center, so it might be worth venturing to it. And although these illnesses won't kill you as quickly as the temperature, they will give you 100 problems, kind of like DayZ now. Just a quick heads up, if you've made it this far, you might actually like the video, so maybe consider leaving a subscribe if you haven't already. But once food is sorted, you need to focus on temperature, because during all of this, your health is slowly draining. However, there are a few things you can learn that a lot of players don't know that will definitely help you out. First of all, the temperature on DayZ is not static. Like real temperature, it changes throughout the day and is determined by seasons such as summer and winter, so you can use it to your advantage if you do get a warmer patch, but if you don't, to minimize its effect, stay low to avoid the colder weather at higher altitudes, and stay on the coast until you're warm enough to travel inland. It does get colder. You can also run inland if you know the map to gear up faster, but it can make it harder and shortens your health depletion time, so only do this if you know what you're doing. But regardless of how skilled you are, your first priority is clothing. Fill every slot and add as many layers as you can. Look for clothing with high insulation. Best is ideal, but high will do. Keep your gear dry, aim for worn or pristine items because damaged clothing loses their insulation properties. Early game, the firefighter uniform is a lifesaver. It's waterproof and offers the best insulation, but until you find it, keep swapping out clothes until you find much better options. And there are a few survivor tips you'll absolutely need to know about, and need to utilize if you're going to continue down this path. First of all, heat packs are your best friend. They can stop health depletion and even give you enough time to start recovering health, so they're pretty OP and last a long time. Always keep one on hand if you can find it. Generally speaking, the best place to find them is always hunting areas, but they can be found in other places as well. Staying indoors offers some protection, though it won't completely stop health loss. Caves, tents and even springs all act like indoors and are warmer than being outside, so use these when you can. Warm meat from freshly killed animals can provide a little warmth as well. Store it on your person to keep your body temperature up, and don't forget, if you ever use pans or pots, you can also use them to keep yourself warm. Cooking stoves are invaluable and technically not fire. Even if you can't make a fire, carrying a stove around allows you to cook food for warmth, but make sure to stand over the stove while cooking indoors to maximize its effects. They're not as strong as they used to be, but any food cooked by it will continue to give you a heat boost to your comfort level as long as it's in your stomach. And another overlooked trick is sitting in vehicles. Even if the car doesn't run, sitting inside is warmer than standing out in the elements. If you can turn the engine on, the car becomes a mobile heat source, offering a significant boost. And obviously added onto this is always carry a spark plug in case you find a car or a generator. Both can save your life in these conditions and both give you warmth. But the most important thing is knowing exactly what you need to do to stay warm in every situation. And to do that, click on this video here where I'll show you 20 ways to stay warm in Sakhal. Or for something else, click here. And as always, until next time.